If it hurts, you ain't breaks, go get you, double it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, do the game, tap, this win it in. Press you again, we're here for the first mate. Carry my team every 6 minutes.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
It's day one, like I said, like I just told D-Rock. Hey, it's intensity from day one, from start to finish. Whistle to whistle blows to whistle in. All day, every day. I need everything you got. Everything out of you. All 15 days. Every practice. It starts right now. It's your time. It's your choice to be great. Let's pick that.
Yes, sir, man. Let's go, man.
Let's go. Tennessee on 2-1-2.
Tennessee!
Make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talkin VAWLS that my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Good Friday morning. Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Coach Jay in the house. Coach, we got one more sleep. Just a little over 24 hours, brother. This is what we wait. We wait all year. We talk about it. Talking season is almost over. You're in Vegas celebrating. You're out there gambling. We don't condone gambling around here, but, man, I know you're fired up. You ready to get going?
I'm ready to get going, man. Hit a little three-teamer yesterday, Boogie. Hit a little three-teamer. We're going to get into this gambling segment in just a little bit when Foul Ming comes on. But, man, I'll tell you what, it's like Christmas Eve tonight, like that feeling you got when you were a little kid and you know you're going to go to sleep and Santa's going to come down the chimney in the middle of the night and leave you your new bike, probably in our case, Boogie, a new Atari or Nintendo game. And you were just excited and ready to go, man. And there's no better gift out there than Tennessee football. We live for it. We do this all year round for it, and we only get X amount of weeks, man. So you've got to savor them. You got to sit back and really sip that cool, refreshing football drink down slow.
How about Dylan Elam in the chat saying, did Scoops ever find his keys? Yeah, productivity in the state of Tennessee at an all-time low the last 2 days. Waiting on Tristan Keys. Now we're waiting on kickoff. Let me catch up with the chat real quick. Do me a favor, smash the thumbs up, share out the link, let people know we're live. We would greatly appreciate it. Leah Lancaster becomes a member of the channel. Also, Dirt Racer joining the family. Tillville Valhalla, shall I say. Also becomes a member of the channel. Shout out Till Valhalla. Dustin Sellers is here. Dustin Sellers is also going to be here tomorrow, helping us out with the post-game show. It's good to see you in the chat, my friend. Gunfighting Smokey Bear becomes a member of the channel. Guys, we appreciate that. You can hit that join button down below. It's only $1 a month. Joker for $5 says, heading down to Atlanta right now for the game. Go Vols. Dakota's been a member for 24 months, 2 years of support. Shout out, Dakota. We appreciate you, my man. Donovan is in the house. He says for 5. Hubs, everyone hopes Matthews is wide receiver number 1. I think it will be Travis. Heupel is 31-2 at Tennessee when we rush for over 177 yards. That is the key. Yeah, I was on with Kane Locked On Vols this morning. If you're not watching, you can go check it out after we get done. That was my key to the game. Just keep it simple, man. Run the football. Bubba Strong for 5. Heupel found his keys yesterday. Dustin drops a 20 spot. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top,
He says, do we see more of the original scheme and hurry up or more of the same 12 personnel? GBO, it is time. We'll see, man. You know, Halsey was asked that by the media. What are you going to do? How are you going to mix it up? So that's what I'm going to have my eyes on tomorrow at kickoff. But let's get Brent Hubs on here. Looking forward to this. Going to be a lot of fun, guys. Again, smash the thumbs up, shout the link. Let's get Hubs on here and see what he has to say. Brent, we appreciate you jumping on with us, my man.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I feel like I'm late to the party. I saw that intro that you had going. You've got everybody on but me, my man. I'm just kidding. You know, I am you guys do a heck of a job, and I enjoy watching you guys and keeping up with everything that you're doing. So continued blessings to you guys. Continue the great work. And again, thanks for having me be a part of it. I'm excited about this weekend. I mean, God love college football, whether you're in Vegas or whatever small town you're in somewhere. Man, we finally got to the top of the mountain, and it happens really fast when we go downhill, but thank God we're starting to go downhill, right? Let's play this thing.
Yeah, I'm tired of talking about what could happen and actually talk about what we see happen. We have had everybody on the show. I told Kaner the other day I was watching you and Mike Keith break down this upcoming season, and I hate asking my friends for favors. And I said, I'm asking Kaner. I don't care. I picked up the phone. I said, Kaner, it's time. I need to get Brent Hubs on the show. So I'm excited. I know I can say this for Coach Jay. We've both been paying customers of VolQuest for a long time. A day doesn't go by on this channel and I don't say you guys are the absolute greatest coverage of Tennessee football. So we love what you guys do too. Let me hit a couple of these real quick and we'll get into it. John Watts for 5 says, Hubs, coffee fun. Hubs, you need I don't think you need coffee to get up this morning.
Dude, no coffee, no caffeine required, man. Let's go. I'm ready to get going. I got to tidy up about 3 honeydews, and then I'm southbound on 75, and let's go get this thing going.
Love it.
Dave Morrison. Yeah. Dave Morrison for 2 says, welcome, Hubbard, the man, the myth, the legend. Dakota for 5 says, thank you for all y'all's time and effort put into this show. Hoping the house is coming along well. Yeah, we're bouncing back. We'll be as good as new sooner rather than later. Knox BFL says, GBO, one more sleep. MD Vol Dad checking in from Maryland. Love the Talkin VAWLS team and content. Boogie, you the man. Appreciate you, MD Vol. Caveman Boy for 2 says, door fee. Shout out, Caveman Boy. Hubs, let's start with a little recruiting because we've been waiting. And finally we get the flip from Tristan Keys. And look, you've been covering football for a long time. You've seen a lot of recruiting classes come and go. I know these guys got to show up and they got to prove it. But when you look at it on paper and you see Tristan Keys, Celeste Moa, Tyreek King, Legend Bay on paper, where do you think this class of wide receivers stacks up in all your time covering Tennessee?
Well, that's a great question. Yeah, you know, the one class that stands out to me in all my years covering it is, well, 2, I guess, really. One I don't think really panned out, and that was Andy McCullough and some of those guys that came in. Marcus Nash was in that class, who obviously was a good player. Maurice Staley from Charlotte was in that class. They were really ballyhooed coming in. Didn't really pan out as well as you thought. Then you jump forward a decade, and you're talking about Jason Swain. You're talking about Brett Smith. You're talking about Robert Meacham. That was 3 that were pretty good. Now, they got off to a bit of a slow start, but when David Cutcliffe came to town, they got that thing rolling, and they were really good. Swain was bothered by injury, but when Meacham got healthy, he was a really good player. I think the one thing that stands out to me about this group of wide receivers and why on paper I would probably give them a little bit of a nod is I look at the fact that they're all, other than Legend Bay, they're all receivers. Like Tyreek King is a receiver. This is not an athlete who's got to go learn how to catch the ball with his hands because he's eating the ball into his body. The same way with Tristan Keys, the same way with Moa. I mean, Legend Bay plays quarterback, so that one's a little bit of a different. That'll be a little bit of a different transition. But these other guys are natural receivers. They played receiver their entire life. I think that's a big deal because I've seen a lot of guys who were really good athletes try to make that transition. And it just, Coach, it goes okay. Like, you know, it takes longer than it should. or it doesn't go as well. I mean, Chris Hannon is a great guy. Chris Hannon was the guy who really had to learn to catch the football when he got to college because he just kind of ate it into his body every time. I don't think that's the case with this group of guys.
Yeah, certainly easier said than done when it comes to those kids picking up a new skill, if you will. It was brought up in the chat a second ago, and I figured I'd ask you real quick, Brent. We had a big debate on this channel whether Savion Hyder was the bigger pickup or Tristan Keys was the bigger pickup for Josh Heupel. What do you feel is the answer to that, and what do you think was the biggest need the coaching staff really wanted to kind of go after and solve with this year's recruiting class?
Well, they had to go get receivers. I think when you look at where they're at numbers wise, they needed to go get some depth there at receiver and get some talent in there. That they clearly have done that. They also had a frame that they were looking for, right? I mean, Legend Bay is not the biggest guy, but the other guys are bigger receivers, so they were clearly looking for a specific type of guy that way. I don't want to sound like it's this big Vols celebration this morning, like Savion Hyder didn't count. If you'd have asked me that question a month and a half ago, I would have told you Tristan Keys. And that's not a knock on Savion Hyder. I think Hyder's a terrific player. What I'm saying is I've looked at the last 4 years of Josh Heupel, 2,500 yards or rushing or more every year, and he's done it with about 4 or 5 different guys. I think schematically they're always going to be able to run the football. Now, you may have a guy who's a better home run threat. You may have a guy who's got a little more wiggle or a guy who's a little more powerful. But they have done it with a variety of backs, and they've all been successful. And none of them have been, quote, 5 stars, if you will. I think when you look at trying to get explosive plays and the things they want to do offensively, I think receiver was a bigger need. And again, I think Savion Hyder is going to be a really good player at Michigan. So this is not like, oh, well, he wasn't very good. I mean, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying when you put the two side by side, what does this offense need? I think history says it needs talented wide receivers who are productive because they can find running backs who are productive. They've done that every year that they've been at Tennessee.
Let me catch you back up with the chat, and then we're going to kind of go backwards, and then we'll come back around, and we're going to continue to talk some ball here with Brent Hubs, VolQuest.com. David Hall for 5 says, way to step it up. Boogie, good morning, Hubs. We appreciate that. Tyler Maxwell's been a member for 11 months, says, good morning, men. Go Vols. I'm ready for the trip to Atlanta tomorrow. They're sleeping on a giant. Isaac Owens has been a member for 25 months. We appreciate you. Ronald Mickle drops a 20 spot. See, Brent, these super chats that are $20, they're a certain color. They're orange. And we have a rule around here. If you drop a super chat that's orange, we have to play this clip.
Rocky Top!
And it never gets old. So shout out, Ronald. We appreciate you. He says, GBO. Thank you, Ronald, so much for the support. We appreciate it. Let's go backwards, Brent. I want to talk a little bit about you. Grew up in East Tennessee, graduated from the University of Tennessee. You worked in radio. You founded VolQuest in, 2000, I think. You've been a part of the Vol Network game day broadcast. You're going to continue to do that this year. Like, do you ever just look at your life and go, wow, like, your body of work, like just kind of reflect on that and give us some memories and all of your time covering this football team.
Well, I mean, I went to college and I never left, and that was the beauty of it. I've never left college, which is, I tell everybody I'm a 40-year veteran of the University of Tennessee because I'm on campus every day. I'm blessed beyond measure, and I've had so many people who have poured into me and given me so many opportunities and so many breaks. I mean, when I started in 94 with Mike Keith and radio, I had not a first clue what I was doing. I mean, I really didn't. My first job was labeling tapes, and I'm like, all right, and we'll just – and he believed in me. He had more confidence in me than I had in myself at that point. And we just took off and ran with it, and I was blessed there. Bob Kessling was a blessing to me, gave me so many more opportunities along with the Vol Network guys to do stuff on the game day broadcast, which has just been awesome. Shannon Terry at On 3 he was my original GOAT who got me started in the business, basically in the internet. I met Shannon in 97 at Slotsky's Deli on the Strip. And of course, it's no longer there because the Strip doesn't exist anymore. And we sit down and talk, and he told me in 1997 about this concept where all these kids' high school highlights were going to be on the internet, and you were going to be able to watch high school games on the internet. And this was in 97. He totally believed this. I looked at him like he had 12 heads. I'm like, I mean, it still makes a funky noise when you lock into the internet. What are you talking about? We're going to be able to do live shows like this, or we're going to have high school games or high school highlights. True visionary, and he believed in me and gave me an opportunity. And to be standing here now, man, I don't work. I mean, people ask me like, man, you got to be tired. How many hours? I'm like, this is not a job. Are you kidding me? I mean, I've spent all week getting ready for a game broadcast, diving into stats, writing stories, covering kids, talking to people, doing shows. I mean, there are people working. I'm not working. So I am beyond blessed to have had this career. If you'd have told me in 1994 this is what my life would have looked like, I would have lost everything that I had, because I would have been like, you're nuts. There's no way this is going to work out like this for me. And it's just been a remarkable blessing. It's too many stories. I mean, I covered Peyton Manning's first practice. I have it in a notebook. I have his stats from his first practice at Tennessee and the stats from his first scrimmage. You know what I mean? Like, I saw Peyton this week, and he kind of looks at me and shakes his head, because basically we came in at the same time, essentially. I started full-time in radio in 94, covering him every day. And it's so many athletes along the way, the Al Wilsons, and then the more recent guys, Trey Smith and those guys. I mean, it's the relationships you build that I'm just so fortunate to have. The rapport that I have with those guys is just so much fun. I could ramble on forever, Boogie, but I'm blessed to answer your question. Beyond blessed.
Yeah, awesome. So as you mentioned, Brett, you've been around for a while, man. You've seen it all. I was wondering if you could talk maybe on Heupel's recruiting style compared to past Tennessee coaches, or maybe even other SEC coaches you've seen in the game.
Well, the game is so different now than it used to be. So you can't really compare it to what Philip Fulmer did or what Nick Saban did when he first came into the league and some of those things, because of the NIL factor, because of the transfer portal. I think at times Josh Heupel can be a little bit frustrating in recruiting, because at times it doesn't feel like they ask for the sale hard enough. Like, when's the last time somebody left campus on a Sunday and said, I'm committed to Tennessee after an official visit, right? Like, you look and here, LSU picked up 4 commitments this weekend, and Georgia picked up 3, or Penn State got 5 or whatever. And you go, what Tennessee get? None. And you're like, wait a minute, what are they doing? And you just have to trust the process with them. They're a little more methodical about it that way. They build true relationships. It's a little, I don't want to say laid back, because that sounds like you're lazy. You're not lazy. It's just maybe doesn't have the intensity that some other people have. They backloaded at the end of June, and July is a big month for them. And think about it. I mean, they've hit, look what they've hit in July. I mean, it was an unbelievable month in recruiting. And then to get Keys this month, and a year ago this month, they got David Sanders. And so I think the challenge with Josh Heupel for fans is you have to be patient. And at times you feel like, man, this class is going to be terrible, right? Like, is it going to be a top 30 class? And then you're sitting here and you get into July and you're like, maybe they're a top 10 class. Well, maybe can they get to the top 5? I mean, they've recruited well the last 2 years. It's a little bit different than everybody else, just in kind of just their approach to things in the month of June. But we're figuring it out. They're backloading, and it's worked very well for them the last 2 years, for sure.
Let's mix it up and have a fun question. And I was thinking back to this of like all the fun. Well, that was fun. maybe I should have said funny. How about funny?
There you go.
Something like a recruiting story that's funny, or one that I may be wrong on this. There was many groomers. The Gruden rumors were multiple year spans, but chasing down some of these wild coaching search stories. And I remember somebody posting on the board, and they were looking for a plane coming in, and they were like, "Guys, I'm at the airport. Hubs is in his car right beside me doing the same." I don't know if that was true or not. Give us something funny that's come across.
So coaching stories are really hard, and coaching searches are really tough. So I'll get to that story in a second. But this was when they hired Butch Jones. I was at my kid's Christmas play, and they were trying to get home with Butch Jones, and if Butch Jones got cold feet and backed out, which he almost did, because it took him till about 4:30 or 5 in the morning to make a decision. It was like an all-night interview. They were going to go to Doug Marrone. And I'd known Doug Marrone for a long time when he was an assistant. So I'm at my kids' play, and I've just got my phone in hand. My wife's like, can you just watch your kids at this play? And I'm like, not really. And so I look down and my phone rings, and it's Doug Marrone. So I just get up, I make my way out of the middle of the aisle. I'm like, excuse me. Some lady's trying to video her kid, and I'm walking by in front of it to walk out of this auditorium to talk to Doug Marrone, who told me, I think I might get an interview tomorrow. And then sure enough, it never happened, because I got a text at 5:15 in the morning. They had gotten home with Butch Jones. Dave Hart did coaching searches different. So I had somebody drive by Gundy's house in Stillwater to make sure that that there was a car there and that there was people and it was Dave Hart. I mean, basically I had to have this guy stalked outside the car to see if Dave Hart was there. And so the groomer one, I was at that airport, and a lot of people misunderstand why I was at the airport. I knew he wasn't on the plane. I knew who was on the plane. I mean, it was people from North Carolina and like Heath Schuler. They were coming back from a trip in Florida from Tampa. Just happened to be coincidental, and it was one of those things. I knew he wasn't there. But if I didn't go to the airport and verify he wasn't there, everybody was going to tell me I was wrong. So here I am sitting in my truck, and I'm not videoing anything. I'm just watching. I'm like, I literally have driven out here. I've wasted my time because I'm going to watch the people I know, because I've already talked to them that say they're flying in. I'm going to watch them get off the plane and go, see, it wasn't Gruden. But when I got out there, there were a couple other people videoing, and they started videoing me. It's got to be true. Hubs is here. I'm like, I'm here because I know it's not true. And nobody believed me. John Gruden took years off. That whole deal took years off my life because he was never coming. And I know a lot of people still don't believe that, but he was never coming. But I've had so many fun stories like that, the recruiting stories. I got Fred White's commitment at the Spearmint Mall while he was making a Little Caesars pizza. I called Fred's house. Fred's little sister answers phone. Fred and I laugh about this to this day. And she goes, Fred's not here. And I'm like, well, when's he going to be home? He's working. I'm like, where does he work? She's like, down at the Little Caesars. I'm like, well, I don't know. She goes, no, the one at the mall. I'm like, Griffin, Georgia. I got no idea. Like, I don't know what's the mall. Like, she's a little kid too. She's at the Spearmint Mall. So sure enough, I pick up the phone, call information, get the number for the Spearmint Mall at Little Caesars. And I call and they're like, hey, what would you like to order tonight? I was like, I'd like to order up a conversation with Fred White. Can I talk to Fred? They hand him the phone. He's making like Little Caesars pizzas. And he's like, yeah, I'm committed. I'm like, okay, I'll interview you later. I just needed to confirm that you're committed to Tennessee. So I've got 3 or 4 of those. I did Greg Jones's from Jonesboro, Arkansas. He was at Sonic making brown bag specials after school when I got his commitment. So there's a ton of those. Again, I should write a book. I would read it. I don't know that anybody else would. It's been 30 years of parking garages and sitting out in hallways, camping out. I mean, when Butch Jones was let go, I sat in the garage and waited on John Curry to pull in because I knew he was going to try to hide and park in a different garage. And so he pulls in and he gets out of the car, and I do this slow drive by in my truck with the window down, and I go, hey man, what are you doing here? And he turned white. I mean, he was totally white because he knew I'd caught him, and so sometimes all you know to do is just go camp out. And then sometimes they don't work out. Like I've camped out for Peyton Manning so many times, and he's just thrown a detour on me, and I've missed out on those stories thanks to him because he has a good way of throwing you off the beaten path from time to time. But it's been fun.
I love it. I can listen to you tell stories all day. People want us to talk ball, but they're also being generous in the chat. I got to catch back up with them. Todd Landers for 5 says, late fee, GBO. Good to see you in the chat. Todd, as always, the J-Wall became a member of the channel. You can do the same. It's $1 a month. That's all. Right down there below, custom Talkin VAWLS emojis. Fan call-in, members-only stream every Sunday night right here, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So shout out J-Wall for that. Rocky Top time for 10. Says, my terrible work schedule, but it is going to be great. Rewatch with Brent Hubs on board one more night until kickoff. GBO, shout out, Tom. We appreciate you. Dustin for 10. Hubs, how's the new layout and process with the new radio team? Did you have the choice to be the color guy alongside Mike, or did you prefer the field?
Listen, man, the color guy's got to know football. He's got to have played football. So, I mean, I don't know if you can see my great strapping broad shoulders here, but football was not in my repertoire. So, no, they were always going to go with a former player. I love Ramon Foster. Ramon and I have a great rapport with each other. I've known him since covering his recruitment out of Henning, Tennessee years ago, and he's going to be fantastic. And I'm looking forward to being on the sideline. It's different. I think fans are going to like this format. We go on at 9:30, which is a longer pregame show. But I think it's going to be great with Jason Swain and Ramon Foster. And then Mike's got some different elements. And I think that everybody's going to love the energy of this broadcast. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. Again, I had a great run with Bob Kessling. I mean, Bob Kessling gave me a chair in '99 right beside him in the booth, and I never left it. And not only did he give me the chair, as time went along, he gave me more opportunities in the chair, to the point that he gave me a microphone and a headset, and it was live the entire broadcast. Like, what am I doing being live the entire broadcast? Just for observations and stuff. So I've been blessed. Change is always, you got to change things up in time. And obviously Mike has such a great passion for Tennessee, and it's going to be fun. I think fans are certainly excited to wait and see what his calls are going to sound like. What's he going to go with? What does he come up with for his calls? I have no idea. I'll be tuned in and listening to it on the sidelines to see what it sounds like. What I know is, having worked with him on and off since 1994, the preparation is unmatched. And he knows, hell, he knows more about Tennessee in 9 months than I've known the last 4 years covering Josh Heupel. He was like, "Hey, did you know this stat?" I'm like, "No, man, I got to get on my game. You're working me to death, man." So it's going to be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
We got Jim Slagle in the chat for 2, says, "Thanks for keeping us going through the off season." Jay Dyer for 2 says, "Best YouTube channel ever." Thank you so much. We appreciate you guys. Todd Hurley has been a member for 50 months. The J Wall drops a 20 spot. I got to do it. Sorry.
Hit it.
Rocky Top!
He says, "Go Vols!" 26 hours until WGWTFA. Shout out the J Wall. We appreciate it. Trent Hamilton's been a member for 36 months. Brad with a 50 spot. See, we got a different clip for this one, Brent. I don't know that you'll appreciate this one as much, but we'll play it.
Money isn't everything. It's the only thing. And everyone has a price for the $1 Million Man.
Hey,
we got rules around here.
I got no problem with Ted DiBiase, man. I got no problem with that. All right, that's the old schoolers. I can't tell you about the new guys, but that was my run back in the day with those guys. I got no problem with that one. That's good.
There you go.
Brad for 50. That is not cheap. We appreciate you, Brad. Says, "GBO Dorothy offering." Like Hub said, if you need caffeine to wake up today or tomorrow, need to check your pulse. Vols by Fitty, Colt of Joey. Shout out, Brad. You're the man. You're always the man. He supports this channel, and he harasses me, but he does support this channel as much as anybody. Harville became a member of the channel. We appreciate you. All right, we got to talk a little ball, Hubs. We got to talk a little football. We've been having fun going down memory lane, which I could do the entire show on, but let's talk about this 2025 team. There's a lot of outside noise. You lost your quarterback after the spring, James Pierce, Dylan Sampson. You lost a lot of production, the wide receiver room, the offensive line. You look at it from a national perspective, it's easy to look at it on paper and go, well, this team's not going to be very good. I think that this team has an opportunity to be really good. What do you like about this group for 2025?
I like the fact that on defense, they have an identity and a brand. They know exactly what they want to be and who they are. They don't rebuild because they play so many young players. You feel comfortable with Joshua Josephs coming in and playing. I'm not saying you're not going to miss James Pierce, but it's not like you're suddenly breaking in a brand new guy at those positions. I think the same thing in the back end. I mean, even Edris Farouk at safety, he's not played a ton, but you played him in some critical situations. The same way you played Edwin Spillman in some critical spots last year when he was not hurt. I think Colton Hood's a great find in the transfer portal. I like the stability that they have on defense. I think that side of the ball doesn't get enough credit. I think Tim Banks, and I know he's a whipping boy for some people from time to time, he's done a heck of a job, man. Where they were in 21 to where they were last year, I mean, he deserves a ton of credit for having a brand of knowing what he wants, what type of player he wants, and building around that. I think that continues. This offensive line has got more potential than last year's offensive line has. They've got to put it together. David Sanders is going to give up some pressure, right? Like, he's going to have a growing pain or two. But I like the fact they're more long arm. They're bigger. I think they've got more power. So I like the future with them. I don't know if the future shows up Saturday, without some pains. Deshaun Bishop's got as big a chip on his shoulder as anybody we've seen in a long time, and that's a great thing for Tennessee and for the running back position. He wants to prove everybody outside that he can play, and he's in the greatest shape he's been. Then the question becomes what we're all looking for tomorrow, and that is, what's Joey Aguilar like in this offense, and what do these receivers look like in this offense? And I wish I could say they're going to be great. I don't know that they're going to be great. I don't think they're going to be bad. Are they going to be average in week one? Are they going to be above average in week one? What tweaks have they made to that? I think it's going to be fun to see sort of what that looks like tomorrow, and then where it is in a couple of weeks when Georgia comes to town, just kind of how much they grow and how much they build.
Yeah, so speak on maybe that offense a little more, Brent. Like if it were you, what would you come out and run? If Brent Hubs is scripting that first series, what would your philosophy be for this kind of new Tennessee offense?
I would have sat down Tuesday or Wednesday with Joey Aguilar, and I would have said, listen, you need to be as transparent and as honest with me as you will ever be. What do you like? What are you comfortable with right now? We'll build on it, but let's start with where you're most comfortable. Do you want to be on the edge? Do we need to get you out of the pocket? Do you like the RPO stuff more? Are there certain routes you like? Are there certain things you're more comfortable with? Do we need to cut it to half field reads at the start and kind of build out that way? I need you to process fast. I need you to play confident. And to do that, I need to know what you like the most, what you're most comfortable with right now. We'll script that to start, and we'll build out of that moving forward. Now, I think in this day and age, if I were tweaking the offense in general and not specific to Joey, I think I would like to see receivers catch the ball on the move a little bit more, not so many comebacks. I think you got to get some guys in motion. You got to kind of move the defenses around a little bit because you're trying to figure out what safety is in the box, what safety is not in the box. Let's make them move and sort of see what they look like there. They kind of got away from some of that motion stuff that they did. Because I don't know that they were good enough or as good as you needed to be in the slot. So I would like to see a little bit more of guys catching the ball on the move and not so many 15-yard comebacks where, the guy's coming 8 yards back to the ball and that 15-yard route becomes a 7-yard completion. Let me have a 7-yard completion where the guy's at full speed and see if we can turn that 7 into 30. Let's throw the over route like to Dante Thornton in the Oklahoma game. Let me see some more of that kind of stuff. And then I want to see these tight ends. Can they stretch the field with Ethan Davis? Ethan Davis is a great story, and I'm rambling here, but he's a guy that went to the coaches at the late last year and just said, guys, are you going to go get another tight end? Like, are you going to recruit over me in the portal? Like, I just need to know. And they're like, no, you're the guy. We're not bringing anybody else in. It's your time. He's taken that to heart. I think he's had a great offseason. It's got to translate, but I do think he's in a better place mentally than he's been at. The last year for him was tough, because he just kept feeling like they were recruiting over top of him.
Give me a guy that you think maybe a lot of people aren't talking about, maybe a breakout guy that just kind of flying under the radar but handling his business, and we may be talking about, maybe not on Saturday, but maybe week 3, week 4, week 5. We're saying, hey, this guy is giving us a little more than we expected.
Well, I tell you who I think it needs to be offensively is Braylon Staley. He's got to stay healthy. But you look at that slot receiver position, I think Bayless Jones had 800 yards in year 1 under Josh Heupel in the slot. Then we know what Jalen Hyatt did in 22. 23 was about 700 to 800 yards out of Squirrel. Last year, they got 350 yards out of the slot position. That's not enough. Yeah. The slot position in this offense is supposed to be the high volume catch position. And the outside guys are the big home runs. We average 18.5 yards of reception, but it's the slot guy that goes to work and gets things done. Tennessee's got to get more productive out of the slot. So it better be Braylon Staley. I think Peyton Lewis is going to be a guy that everybody's going to be talking. I think people are going to be talking about Peyton Lewis on Sunday, and that's not a knock on Deshaun Bishop. I think they're going to rotate there, and I don't think we got a real sense of Peyton Lewis last year as he was trying to figure the offense out. I think you're going to see more out of Peyton Lewis on the defensive side. I think everybody's going to love Colton Hood. I do. I mean, I call him Clark Kent. He walks around with glasses and he's well dressed, and he's not a guy who runs around in sweats and a hoodie. Like he's very preppy looking in the way he dresses, and then all of a sudden he goes and gets in the phone booth and puts on a football uniform, and he's pretty nasty out there. So I think people are going to like what they see out of him. I think Edwin Spillman's going to play downhill, and he's going to make mistakes, but there's going to be times where you look at the Edwin Spillman and go, wow, a lot of speed there. He's just got to eliminate some of the mistakes that you're going to make as a young player. But those are some guys I think people are going to be fired up about. I'm excited to see Weathersby as well. Tyree Weathersby has had an unbelievable fall camp. He is back 100% healthy. More importantly, he's back with confidence in his health and his hip. Feels like he can really flip it and turn off the edge. I'm looking to see Weathersby. West is going to have a role. I see that on on the bottom of the screen there in the chat. I think Tyree West is going to play. He might slide inside and play some in the Rabbits package. He can do some different things. They have great depth and competition at the strong side defensive end spot. When you look at Don Bailey, you look at Tyree West, you look at Tyree Weathersby, and then Marion Dye is a ways away from putting it all together, but holy geez, he may look the best of any of them from a physical standpoint.
Yep. Brent, looking ahead to this schedule, we talk about it a lot on this channel that Heupel that either find a way to beat Georgia or find a way to beat Florida or Bama on the road. Those have kind of been like sticky spots for him. Is there like a game you feel like they need to go get, or maybe even a game that we should be worried about that might creep up on us this year?
Well, I think it's one of those deals where they've had a bugaboo on the road. You got to avoid the on the road, and that starts tomorrow. Now, I think they're better than Syracuse, but game one openers are nerve wracking because there's unknowns in there. You want to go play with a lot of young players going to be playing tomorrow. They got to settle in quickly. You just got to avoid the hiccup if you're them, and that's Starkville, Mississippi. Okay, there's a lot of buzz in Starkville. They think they're going to be a lot better in year two. You just can't have an Arkansas. You can't have a South Carolina. You can't have that on the road. That's the one bugaboo that Josh has had. I mean, Georgia's been really good. Okay, you were in that game last year and you let it get away because you couldn't get off the field on third down. You weren't ready for that moment in 22. You just weren't. They were better than you in 23 at home. So I think that. What do they look like at home? I mean, you'd love to find a way to steal that one somehow and knock them off. I think Tennessee has got as much talent as Florida. I don't know where Florida is going to be at the end of the year. It's hard for me to look at that one and say that's going to go Tennessee's way because they've lost that damn game every way possible. I mean, Hail Mary here. I mean, if there's a way to lose that game, they found a way to lose that game. So I kind of got to see them win that one down there. Alabama is – I think Alabama's going to be pretty good. I think that one's going to be hard down there because I do think in year two, the further they can get away from Nick Saban, the better off life is going to be for everybody down there. They're not away from that yet, but Kalen DeBoer's got to put his own stamp on it. So they've got a lot of parts around Ty Simpson, who's talented. They've got a lot of parts around him to help him. So I think that'll be a pretty hefty challenge in Tuscaloosa, but we'll see.
Let me catch up with the chat again real quick. We got over 500 people watching live on this Friday morning. We appreciate you guys being with us. Smash that thumbs up, share out the link.
Maybe we're getting no work done. We're getting no work done tonight.
None. We haven't for 2 days, Brent. Nobody did anything yesterday. My wife said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm staring at the screen until somebody tells me Tristan Keys is in the boat." Todd Hurley for 2 says, "GBO, love Hubs. Watch everything he is a part of." Thank you, Todd. Tyler Maxwell for 5. Genuine question. What or who introduced you into Vol fandom? I'm curious. I was reminiscing with my dad about it yesterday. Man, I just grew up pretending to be Andy Kelly in the front yard. Like that's my story. I was out there. I had a sister, didn't have a brother, later added a stepbrother, and we would be out there playing. But as a kid, it's just me with a football by myself pretending I was Andy Kelly. I just grew up loving Tennessee football. The same stories as everybody else. My parents used to turn down the TV and turn up the radio. Everybody knows that story. Coach, you got a little bit more interesting one. You can share it real quick, and then we'll move on.
I mean, I grew up out here in Southern California, right? So really weird becoming a Vol fan. My father took me to one of the UCLA Tennessee games back in the early 90s now. I think I was at Peyton's first game when he ran out there. I was at that Colorado Tennessee kickoff classic, but just that first game ended up seated with the Tennessee fans and met a friend there that I still talk to now and just fell in love with the culture, man. So been a wild ride growing up a Vol fan out here, certainly, and kind of ridden every moment and every game I could get to since then. And then famously on this channel, I've still yet to see a loss in Neyland Stadium. I'm up to 7-0 now, so hopefully we can keep that streak going this year as well.
A lot of pressure in 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know.
Let's get him out for the Georgia game.
Out there for that.
Come on. Hubs, what about you? Obviously, you went to the university, but as a young Brent Hubs.
Well, and my aunt used to work in the football office. I didn't tell anybody that when I started covering Tennessee over there for years. She was retired at that point, but she worked in the football office, so I got a chance to sneak over, and my parents would take me over for a practice here and there. I remember meeting Reggie White for the first time, and like that's the largest human being I've ever seen. And like, he picked me up like I was not even a sack of potatoes, but like the smallest piece of fruit ever. And he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Put me on his shoulder after practice. It was really cool. And then my dad took me to my first game in '82 for the Memphis State win in the cold in November, which was a great experience. And then my favorite team when I fell in love was '85. I was in the 6th grade. That was prime fandom, right? I mean, we got Michael Jordan kind of hitting the deal in the NBA, and all that's different. And then that's the age where you hit prime fandom, in my opinion. And it was, I mean, I had the wristbands on my ankles like Tony Robinson did, playing in the backyard. It was that '85 team that really elevated me out the gates as following everything about Tennessee from that point on.
One more here from MG Way for 5. Good morning, Hubs. Leaving the house early to beat that Atlanta traffic. Flipping keys. Christmas came early this year. GBO. Shout out MG Way. We appreciate you. Brent, we got to get you out the door. You're lucky. You're lucky. We have a thing that we do to guests around here, and that's surprise them. And we ask them a bunch of random questions that have nothing to do with anything.
All right. I'm good with that. We got any?
I told you 30 minutes, and we're already 35 minutes in.
That's
all right.
Okay. I got 5 more if you got a question.
All right. Hubs has 5 minutes. Coach, for a little rapid fire. And here we go. I'll kick it off because I love this question. We typically ask this to the high school recruits, some of the players that have come on. It's the zombie apocalypse. I'm going to twist this for you. So it is the zombie apocalypse. You got to have 4 team members that are going to assist you. 4. 3 of those are people from the media. It can be the VolQuest team. It could be anybody in the media. 3 people. And I need 1 coach from this current University of Tennessee football team. So a team of 5, you, 3 media members, and a Tennessee coach. Who are you picking and why?
Well, I'm going to go with Austin Price because at some point he's going to talk a zombie off the ledge. And we're just going to wear them out in that one or get some intel before so we can save ourselves. So I'm going to go Austin Price 1. I'll go Mike Keith 2 because, I mean, without him, I wouldn't even be around for a zombie apocalypse. So I got to go with those 2. My third one, I might go Chris Lowe, who's now a new member of the On3 family, which is a huge get for us there. And then if I was going to go with a coach on this current football staff, I might roll with my man Tim Banks. I'm a big Tim Banks fan. I have been from the get-go. So that's probably where I'm going.
I like that you said people have mixed feelings about him. I think he is a great – we need to enjoy him while he's here because he's going to be gone sooner rather than later. Go ahead, Coach.
I got to do it to you, Boogie.
Oh,
100 grown men in a fight versus 1 full-grown silverback gorilla. Brent, who we taking? Who wins that fight?
I don't know. What? You lost me on that one, Coach.
I'm sorry.
It's some type of social media trend.
It's social media. The young hip kids are asking it on the internet. I don't know what to tell you.
I mean, gorillas and alligators scare me, so I don't want to be a part of around either one of those things. So I'll go with the gorilla, right?
There you go.
Give me an Al Wilson, a Brock Lesnar, a John Jones. That gorilla has no chance. I don't even need the other 97.
Okay.
I'm going to send the 97 in to be a sacrifice. All right. We love to talk about food around here. We love food. We talk about food probably more than we do football. Are you a hamburger or hot dog guy? And then whichever way you go, build us the perfect hamburger or hot dog.
Well, if I'm going to go hot dog, it's got to be a hot dog with some mustard, onions, relish, and slaw. I got to go slaw dog. It's got to be. I don't want chili on it. I got to load it out that way with a true slaw dog. If I'm going to go hamburger, I'm going to go with cheddar cheese, melted. The cheese has to be melted or the hamburger's not of any value to me. So I'm going melted cheese. I'm going raw onion. I'm going banana pepper. I'm going with a fried egg. I don't really need lettuce. I'm not real sure what the point of lettuce is, so I'm probably opting out of the lettuce. We'll throw some pickles on there as well, and then we'll go play.
I like it. Lettuce goes on the bottom so you can put the patty on it and it doesn't suck up.
By the way, I'm a big Texas toast guy too. So I can go Texas toast over the bun any day of the week. I'm a huge Texas toast guy.
All right, 2 more, Coach, and we'll get him out the door.
Just like the players, Brent, do you have a pregame tradition or maybe walk us through what a game day is like for Brent Hubs when you're getting ready?
If it's an early morning game at home, it's a stop through the Hardee's drive-through for a sausage and egg biscuit and a cinnamon raisin biscuit and an orange juice. That's my pregame meal if it's an early game. If it's not an early game, I might just eat a sandwich at home. I don't really stop and get anything that way. My favorite time of the day on a Saturday at home is to get to the stadium early, because that place, when it's in silence on game day and you know what's coming, is almost a religious experience for me. To get to go down and just kind of walk around, walk through the concourse, get down on the field where there's just a little bit of breeze blowing. The band's not in. They're not cranking up the sound system to test it. It's just this eerie quiet. And outside there, tailgates are going on everywhere. And in a matter of a few hours, there's going to be 100,000 people in there absolutely raising Cain. That's the best part of a home Saturday for me.
I think that's how we end it right there. I love that. And I love that a lot of times you'll post a picture on the board saying, oh man, I love that. Gets me fired up for Saturday. What's going on over at VolQuest.com? Any kind of specials, any kind of deals. This channel is basically an advertisement for VolQuest. I'm like, just go to VolQuest, go see it. Hearing the stories that Hubs told about the coaching search, we're getting to live that live in the general's quarters, watching it all play out. It's so much fun. But what do you guys got going on over at VolQuest right now?
Well, we got a special right now. You can sign up for $1, and if you go to the sign up deal, you can sign up for $1 and you can give us a shot. And that's all I've ever asked. Like, if you're a Tennessee fan and you're not a part, you wonder what it is, give us $1 for a month. It's so easy to cancel. We're not one of those deals where you can't cancel because you got to talk to 7,000 people in 14 different countries or whatever. It's easy if you don't like us, but give us 30 days. Give me 30 days between now and the end of September. And if you don't like what we're about, then we weren't for you. But I think you're going to like what we're about in terms of the news and information, the interaction we have, tons of coverage, getting you ready for each and every game all the way through the week. So if you're not a part, I certainly hope that you'll check us out, and we will try to subsidize your Vol fandom with your guys' daily work, weekly work here on your podcast as well. So we appreciate everything you do to promote us. Certainly, I love what you guys do, and it's a lot of fun to be a part of your show here. You guys call me anytime. Love to be a part of it again. And, hey, we're finally here, man. Thank the good Lord we finally got here. Let's go see what this thing looks like tomorrow.
I love it. We appreciate you, Brent. We thank you for the time, my man. We'll catch up soon, okay?
All right, take care. Thanks, guys.
You got it.
Man, somebody in the chat said it. They said, Boogie, you're done. It's all downhill from here. You'll never have another show that tops this one. That was a good one, man. Hubs brought it. We got Foul Ming in the back. I hope he's ready to bring it. Dude, Hubs, he came in having fun right off the rip. That's what I love. He was laid back, chill. You could tell. That was a good time. Good conversation, man.
And Hubs brought the energy this morning, man. I'm juiced up. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to put the pads on. Let's do it.
Let's just call the show. Let's play the outro.
You don't need me. I'm here.
It's downhill from here. But we still got 525 people watching. We're going to continue talking Tennessee football. I moved on. I wanted to ask Hubs about Syracuse, but we're going to break down Syracuse. We're going to look at some gambling. We're going to talk some recruiting. But let's take a quick break. Again, 525 people watching. Hit the thumbs up. Somebody said there's 150 thumbs up. Let's get that number up, man. It takes you 2 seconds. If you want more content, guess what brings people like Brent Hubs to this channel? 32,000 subscribers. 32,000 subscribers on this channel. It's an opportunity. It is it's a win-win situation for them, for us. So if you want more content like that, smash the thumbs up, share out the link. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed. You want to go check out merchandise? We got brand new TN theme merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. T-shirts, hoodies, tank tops, crew necks, whatever you want. We got it. You can pick colors, size, whatever you want. And then we drop this one. And I love this one because I hate the entire state of Alabama. We don't give a damn about the whole state of Alabama. So we just rolled this one out here. Again, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. If you like Coach and you can't remember the website, it's always in the description of every single video, of every single live stream. You just go to the description. It's going to give you a link to become a member of the channel. It's going to give you a link to buy merchandise. It's going to give you a link to do anything you need to do with Talkin VAWLS. It is always in that description below. But again, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. All right, let's get into it, man. Last night, we've been waiting. We've been speculating. We have been, wasting a lot of time waiting on this right here. Tristan Keys officially finally flips. Scoops found his keys. Val, how did you feel? Well, after you retweeted Austin Price instead of the Talkin VAWLS video, how did you feel after that?
Well, I mean, following Hubs there, I thought that was just the proper thing to do. We're just promoting VolQuest, right? Like that's what we're for. I mean, that's the goal. That's what I was told in my job description. Anyway, yeah, I I told you, you messaged me, and I was just so excited. The first thing I'm just posting, and just getting everybody's reaction. But then I think about 30 seconds into it is just relief. It was just this overwhelming relief. It's like, finally, because we all kind of felt that way. We're all kind of leaning that way, but you just wanted to see it on the screen, right? You just wanted to see something official. And we still got a long way to go. I mean, we still got to get to December. Let's not kid ourselves, but just relief, man. I think this could be the key to this class. This could be the key to this offense going forward. A playmaker like this just opens up this offense, opens up so many options and possibilities for Heupel to work with and Housley to work with. We talked about, I won't run through the list, but we talked through the list of receivers coming in this class. The talent we got in the room now, a lot of young talent. So these two will stack, right, going forward. And it's just going to be how they can play off of each other, right? Like the athletic ability and elite talents of all these receivers can kind of open each other up. A lot of times you see, well, you got this number one guy. What if you just had Keys, right? You got this number one guy. He's all everything, but they're just going to double him up or stack him and all this and jam him off the line, all these different things. Well, now pick your poison. Like, where are you going to go? You're going to leave the slot open. You're going to let Staley or Bay just streak down the field. You're going to let the tight ends across the middle. Where are you going to go? So I'm just excited to see what kind of options it opens up for us. What kind of not necessarily like trick plays, but just different formations, different plays, different just the different possibilities Hop comes up with all this talent.
Yeah, no, hey, Keys, and the thing about Keys too, he's just an elite top level route runner, guys. So not only is he going to give you that, that deep ball threat, that end zone, red zone threat, he's going to just be able to get you first downs. He's going to be able to get open consistently because he runs really, really sharp routes. The other problem that has been plaguing Tennessee, the old dropsies, Tristan Keys got about as sure hand as you're going to find anywhere catching the football. So a true 1A threat. This offense got a whole lot better really, really quickly. And I'm really excited we didn't have to wait because it, like Boogie said in his video, it was coming, man. Game day was coming for him. And if that moment came, he wasn't going to commit right until after his season. So a huge win being able to get him in the boat before that. And I think these coaches aren't done yet, man. I think they're not done yet. I think they got another flip in them. And I think they got another surprise in them down the line too. I do. I believe that. I don't know who it is. I don't know where it is. I don't know how it's coming. I just know it's coming, man. I don't know how else to say that.
Where do you think they end up? You look at the rankings right now on the screen. Tennessee currently sitting at 9th. But, we talked about this early in the cycle, and it's something that AP talks a lot about, said it's going to be top-heavy. You're going to have some elite guys, and then you may have some guys at the bottom, right? And when we had Edward Baker on the channel, and if you look at rankings, you look at ratings, lowest-rated guy in this class right now, guess what? He loves that. And I love that he brought it up. We didn't ask him. I'm not going to ask him. He brought it up. He says, I see the comments. I see the 3-star U comments. I thrive on that. I'm ready to attack because of that. Edward Baker is going to surprise people. I truly believe it. So you got some guys that you're taking a chance on, right? Just numbers-wise, 874. Jamie and Theodore, 826. Javonte Smith, 822. But then you roll up to the top of the class, and it's absolutely loaded. You now got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 guys ranked inside the top 100, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 ranked inside the on 300. And then, of course, you got JB Shabazz, which was a huge pickup just outside the on 300. Like, Coach, you mentioned flipping Hezekiah Harris. How do you put out a graphic? Let me just show the graphic because it made me chuckle. When I saw it, I go, oh, okay, we're getting Hezekiah Harris because he's a 4-star edge that we've been talking about a lot. VolQuest guys have been talking about a lot, saying, hey, Tennessee's working him. Very realistic flip opportunity here. He's also ranked inside the top 100. He's an elite guy, been committed to Auburn since July of 2024. So if you're committed to Auburn, why do you put out a graphic that says you're going to make your final decision, right? Your final decision should have been when you committed to Auburn. So this looks like all signs indicate that Hezekiah Harris is going to flip. We're going to add another guy inside the top 100. Right now we're number 9. Coach thinks we're going to find somebody else. Somebody the other day left a comment and said, Rodney Garner always finds some dude late in the cycle. Like always finds some dude late in the cycle. Val, where do you think this thing ends up, and how do you grade this class right now?
Man, well, it's kind of like Hubs was talking about. We always make this late push. I don't know. I guess that's just kind of like this coaching staff's process. They don't want to, pressure these kids, but with the momentum we have, I mean, I've seen on forums and things, it's, can we get to the top 5? Can we push into the top 5? I think we're close to right there. I see us at like 7, 8, 9. I think right where we are right now. I think, what are we, 8 on some sides and 9 on the other? I think we got one more flip in us, but I mean, I'll be honest. I don't know how much each recruit pushes. You put Keys on there, and we jump quite a bit. I haven't. What is Harris's point? Star points there. I'm not sure, but I see us finishing right about 7, 8 there. I think we got one more flip in us. I think top 5's hard because you never know how everything's going to shake out. Everybody else is still going to pick up 1 or 2 or get a flip here and there, but I see us right at maybe 7, 8.
Yeah. I think we can get as high as 5 or 6, but I've got us at 7. And a good point, Boogie, about Edward Baker. Edward Baker is a dude, man. Whoever watched that St. Thomas Aquinas Mater Dei game saw how good Mater Dei's D-line and linebackers are coming off the edge. They are monsters. They're all 4-star, 5-star kids, and Edward Baker didn't give up a sack against those kids. He's going to have another chance to do that, by the way, against the number 2 team in the country, St. John Bosco, here in a couple of weeks. So I think that's also somewhere where you could maybe bump up right there in that recruit and maybe jump up just a little bit higher than that 7 spot into maybe 6 or 5. Some of these 3-stars, some of your VAWLS hit, but once again, we all know how the recruiting sites like to give them the old Tennessee bump in the wrong direction. So we'll see how that pans out.
I saw somebody saying that in the chat earlier, and you know what? I don't care. Like
I don't either.
I don't think any less of George McIntyre now than I did when he was a 5-star. I don't think any less of Faison Brandon now than when he was the number 1 quarterback. 247 Sports still has him as the number 1 ranked quarterback. According to 247 Sports, I think we got 3 5-stars maybe at this point. Tristan Keys, Faison Brandon, Gabriel Ascenda.
That's what I was going to bring up. That's what I was going to bring up. Like with Osenda, it's on one side you have him in the top 100, and the other side is like almost at 300 or lower. That's why it's hard for me to, like, when we start saying, well, where are we going to finish or where are we going to rank or things like that? I don't know how they judge these things. I know like the eyeball test or the stats or whatever you want to come up with, but when you start getting into some of these kids, like how can one site be hundreds of places different? A full like upper tier 5-star versus a lower tier 4-star. I don't see that. So I'm less worried about the star rankings. I don't get as excited about the star rankings. I just want to get these kids in the boat. You can trust this staff to pick out who fits and who don't. You can really see that they target needs. And I know everybody targets needs. That's cliche to say, but they really pinpoint exactly what they need and who will fit. Not just, oh, we need a tackle, throw us a tackle, or we need an edge, throw us an edge. They pick guys that fit their scheme and will excel in their scheme. And I think that's one of the points that maybe go underrated sometimes or don't get brought up enough, because it's like, oh, well, we finished 9th instead of 5th, or we finished 11th instead of 8th. It's like, well, did you get the guys you needed? Did we fill the spots we needed? Did we get players that are fit and players that also that we can have retention with and will be here in 2 years or be here in 3 years?
Right. It's like the running back position, right? Like Savion Hyder, number 1 running back in the country. Of course you want to land Savion Hyder, but it's why I talk about all the time. People just say, drop the bag, spend the money. You got a budget you got to work with here. You don't just throw everything at Savion Hyder. Who do you need more? Like listening to Hubs talk about, you needed wide receivers and you got them in this class. You don't necessarily need Savion Hyder because you've got Deshaun Bishop, who's a sophomore. You've got Peyton Lewis, who's a sophomore. You got Justin Baker. who is a freshman. Who's the other kid that's name is slipping my – why is he slipping my name? Morris. He's a freshman. Like your running back room is solid, and we also live in a day and age of the transfer portal. Like if you need to go get a running back, you can go look for a running back. If the right guy is there and you want to take a shot on him, you can take a shot on him. So, like I think it's still important. Recruiting is still important. I don't think it's as important as it used to be because of the transfer portal. Landon's been a member for 37 months. Shout out, Landon. We appreciate you. Joseph Harvey has been a member for 9 months, says, let's go, boys. It is football time in Tennessee. If you're not a member of the channel, you can fix that. Hit the join button down below. It's only $1. And what you get access to is a fan call-in members-only stream every Sunday night at 7 o'clock. It's loose. It's laid back. It's crazy. It's a train wreck. We have a lot of fun. Somebody in the chat said, you guys have reached the top of the mountain. You had Hubs on. Next step is getting Kaner on a Sunday night members-only stream.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Lord.
I don't know that Kaner's allowed. I don't know that he would be allowed. I don't know that he's allowed. I think he would participate. I think he's down.
I know we like to drag people through the mud, but let's not get anybody fired. So let's just keep it kosher for now.
Oh, that would be absolutely amazing. All right, we don't condone gambling around here, but Coach Jay is in Vegas, and so Foul Ming wants to talk a little gambling too. We don't condone it, but we're going to talk about it every single Friday morning right here on the Talkin VAWLS morning show. So here's what we're going to do. What do we decide? You guys going to pick 3 games each? Is that what we said?
We can do 3. I got 5 just in case. Coach said 5 the other day, but we can take 3 or we can
do 4.
If you want to do 3, you can talk about it more. If you want to be quick and to the point, we can do 5. You guys choose.
I got notes this long, and I've condensed them down to a sentence each if we want to do that. So I'm good to go. All
right. So let's go 5, and let's shorten them down just a little bit. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start with Coach Jay. We're going to get his 5, and then we're going to go to Foul Ming and get his 5. Who's going to track it? They're going to keep track of these and see who wins at the end of the year.
Luckily, it's recorded, so we can always come back if we have to.
When you say we, that does not mean me. I ain't keeping track of nothing. I make Donna keep track of our picks for the weekly game. I can't keep track of that.
Just keep the lights on, bud.
We can go back.
All right, somebody will figure it out. So, Coach Jay, kick us off. I will try to find the games. I'm usually really bad at this, but all right, what do we got first?
I'm going, and it's my play of the week. I'm going Georgia Tech -4 on the road against Colorado. I mean, I know Caden Salter's there. I know and believe that Coach Prime's going to be a little better. I think the team as a whole will be better. Maybe the top end's not better with them, but I do believe the team as a whole will be better. But Georgia Tech just really has come off on as a squad. I think they got one of the better offensive lines in all America as a cohesive unit. They played a really high rate. Haynes King doesn't make mistakes. That defense is feisty. I just think they're too much, completely too dang much. And Georgia Tech's going to be an easy win. I know -4. I got them winning by double digits, Bug. So
are you all playing the spread?
Yes. I do have a prop bet in here. I know Foul might have one too. Are we going every other, or is Foul going to go one and I go one, or
y'all can go back and forth? That's fine.
Okay. Go ahead, Foul.
Well, this will be quick and easy because I have Georgia Tech on my list also. So we can do. I can skip straight to the next one just to make it short and easy. Georgia Tech's got 8 returning starters. Haynes King threw for 2,000 yards and rushed for 600 yards combined for like 25 touchdowns. And then you got Jamal Haynes coming back. He had like 1,000 yards rushing and 9 TDs. So hammer the Georgia Tech at 4.5. My next one. Let's see. I have a fun one. Okay. Let's go Baylor Auburn. Because because everybody will see this in my notes as we go through. For me, it's week 1. So if we're gambling in week 1, not that we condone it, but if you're playing around in week 1, I think it's continuity. Like how many people coming back, how many got returners, especially the quarterback position. So almost all my picks here are going to have returning quarterbacks and a lot of offensive continuity, except the last pick, but we'll save that one. So I got Baylor plus 2.5 over Auburn because you're going to have Baylor has 13 returning starters on offense. You got returning quarterback, returning running back, and 4 offensive linemen. It's going to be Auburn's first true road opener in over like 20 years. You're going to have a new quarterback. You're going to see he's struggled in the past with some jitters and things like that. So I'm taking Baylor for an upset over Auburn.
I like it. I like it. Good little pick. Good little pick. For my second pick, give me Syracuse. Don't get scared. Under the 17.5 points. I think Tennessee's defense is going to stand up really, really tall in this game. The over/under for Syracuse points total is 17.5, and I'm going to hammer that under. I don't see them getting above 2 touchdowns and a field goal. This Tennessee defense, I believe, is going to just show how good they are this season, week 1, and give the offense all the support they need to take the time they need coming out of the chute.
Yep. Coach, you're reading right out of my notes here.
Sorry about that.
That's my one prospect.
Yeah.
That's the under for Tennessee. But just so we'll wrap it up. We're agreeing here. So that's why we got to. We'll see how it works out.
Yeah,
so
but if we go back and forth,
both take a loss here. We can both take a loss here. So, but Syracuse returns only 37% production. That's the lowest in ACC. Tennessee ranks 7th in scoring allowed. Both are probably going to try to run the ball. We know Tennessee's going to try to run the ball. Syracuse with a new quarterback, I don't know how much they're going to try to lean on him early, right? Both teams were favoring the under and hit like 5 out of 6. Tennessee's D, obviously, versus the new quarterback, we hit that. Tennessee hit the under in 3.5 of their non-conference games, 3 out of 5 of their non-conference games. And Syracuse hit the under in 7 out of 8 of their openers. So all these reasons hammer the under. Let's move to see what else. That's 2 right there. Okay, this one's for Boog. I'm going to take App State versus Charlotte. App State favored by 6.5. App State's returned 7 offensive starters and their QB a transfer from Vandy, so we're getting maybe a little SEC quarterback. New head coach and former offensive coordinator at South Carolina, so maybe we'll get a little bit better scheme on offense, maybe get some points there. It's Charlotte. They're 3-0 against Charlotte all time, all by large margins, and Charlotte's only had like 1 winning season since 2015. So give me App State over Charlotte, 6.5.
All right, I got one that's going to be controversial, and I'm pretty sure everyone's not going to like, but that's all right. That's what Vegas counts on, is too many people betting the favorite. Give me Virginia Tech covering the 7.5 against South Carolina. One of the more stingy defensive fronts in all of college football. Kyron Drones and Devorian Green, really, really, really potent offensive players, but the main thing is South Carolina's offensive line is just not going to be able to deal with that Virginia Tech's defensive front. And I think Lenora, although a good runner and probably enough to get him over the finish line in this game by a field goal or 5-6 points, but I think a 7.5 is a bridge too far with Inner Sandman playing.
Is that 3 each? Let's keep it at 3. Let's keep it at 3 for the sake of dragging it out.
Yep.
Look, because I want to talk about Tennessee. Everybody in the chat's like talking about Tennessee and quarterback play. We're talking about Virginia Tech and App State and Colorado. And it's like, 3 is good. I think 3 each will be good, and we can change it as we go if we need to. We can always adapt.
We can adjust it.
All right, let's talk about Tennessee and Syracuse, because we're 25, less than 25 hours away from kickoff. Tennessee, Syracuse in Atlanta. We're talking with Hubs about the question marks around this team. I'm just ready to have some stuff answered, man. I'm ready to see Joey Aguilar throw the football. I'm ready to see these. I'm just ready. Like Kaner said on Monday morning show, he's like, I'm ready to actually be able to talk about what we see instead of what we think, Coach.
Yeah. It's just, there's been a lot of guessing, right? And I think a lot of people rightfully so feel bullish about the roster for Tennessee and the talent level that Tennessee has. I do as well. I think Syracuse is replacing just a ton of people. Now, don't get me wrong. We're going to see a well coached team come Saturday in Syracuse. Fran Brown is just a dude. I don't know if anyone caught his press conference, but an absolute dude. Go watch that. He's a funny guy to listen to and talk. Just a great coach. The system is going to still be in play. I just think this defense is going to get Tennessee over the hump no matter what happens on the offensive side of this ball. And I'm bullish on Tennessee covering in this game. Now, there is, if I were to like scratch the surface of fears for everyone, I mean, the fear is that the offensive line doesn't have it together, that we can't protect Joey or run the ball, right? And then the other fear on top of that is the safeties, our liability, and Fran Brown's system is able to get off against them, right? And keep it close in that regard and keep the chains moving. But do I see that happening? Heck no. I don't see that happening at all. I think Tennessee is just the better squad all around, the bigger, faster, more physical squad. And I think we're going to see that come Saturday morning.
Yeah, like you look at it on paper, and this has been the talking point all week. These two teams are similar on paper, right? I can sit here and tell you that Tennessee sucks because their quarterback transferred after the spring. Guess what? Tennessee and Syracuse both have quarterbacks that came in after the spring. That's both of their starting quarterbacks. You can look at Syracuse and talk about all their lack of production, right? Kyle McCord threw for almost 4,800 yards last year. He's gone. Their tight end's gone. Their top 3 wide receivers are gone. They lost, I think, 3 offensive linemen. Like, so many question marks, but you can make that same argument for Tennessee. What do you think about this? Kaner said Monday, or maybe it was Locked On Vols for this morning, that he feels like their slot wide receiver at Syracuse is their best player. And he thinks because McMurray's going to start. Volquest put that out this morning. Boo Carter is not starting at the star position.
Mm-hmm.
McMurray's starting. Val, do you think we see Boo Carter? Do you think we see maybe Boo Carter just return punts but doesn't play any defense? Do you think maybe it's a rotation and maybe McMurray starts and that's the punishment as well, you didn't get to start? Or do you think Boo Carter gets suspended for this whole game? I still don't know what's going to happen on Saturday.
I think he's going to be returning punts and things like that. I don't see him. Well, obviously he's not starting, but I guess the real question mark is, do we struggle early? I don't see that. I don't expect that. I think just the part we're leaving out of that equation is, does the defensive line get home early? Do we get pressure and not allow those plays to develop and things like that for them to take advantage? But unless he struggles early, or unless we show just obvious signs of a bust or can't line up right, or we're just getting lost out there, which I don't expect, that they wouldn't have him starting if that was the case. They've watched him for the last however many practices and then all of fall ball. So I don't think I could see Boo just returning kicks and things like that, get on the field, get ball shape, get all the nerves and all the things out like everybody's going to. But I don't think he'll play much in the secondary unless we just show struggles and need it. And even then, I hate for that to be my reasoning, because if it's a punishment type situation, I don't want to turn around and be like, well, I wanted to hold you over the fire, but we need you. I hate to see that happen. So hopefully Tennessee just comes out, takes care of business, and Boo can continue his process and maybe take his job back, and maybe by week 3. But what if we haven't thought about this? What I'm blanking on his name now, playing star in his place, McMurray. Yeah. What if he just comes out and balls out? What if he looks great? What if he just keeps his job?
The rumor is that he has looked great.
That's what. So
in camp,
it's not like it's just Boo's to just take back whenever Heupel says that you can have it. He's still got to earn that job back when the time comes. So we'll see. But I expect Tennessee to take control early on defense, dominate early on defense, and it not be a question mark.
My thing, like from a coaching standpoint, and Coach, you can chime in on this, like Fal just said, if McMurray struggles early, you can't throw Boo out there if the plan was to bench Boo Carter and only let him return punts or only let him play special teams. And he's kept everything quiet, like with the media, with the public eye. We don't know where Boo stands. We don't know what Boo has to do. We know Boo's not starting, but what does that really mean? And all that matters is that locker room. If that locker room thinks that Boo Carter's suspended and then all of a sudden he's playing defense on the 3rd series because McMurray got beat a couple of times, that kills the culture. You cannot do that as a coach.
Yeah. Number one, I think McMurray will be fine. I mean, he very heady player, smart player. He's going to be in the right position kind of guy, going to make the right reads on the defensive end. Now, if he does have a weakness, though, it might be just overall foot speed. Now, is that a problem? Maybe. We'll see. And what does the team think this suspension is? Is it a half? You know, like if it's a half, it's a different story. Because then all of a sudden, if you have an Alan Bosley from Remember the Titans getting replaced by Petey Jones out there, because I can't keep up with him, coach. I'm just not as fast as that guy. Then, maybe by halftime you can make that change. I don't think that's going to happen, though, and we might be fine to rock and roll. But no matter what you do, I do agree you can't go back on the rule that you set for that game. I just don't believe that we will ever know what that rule is. So
do you think
we'll
the locker room knows? Do you think the locker room?
Yeah.
I think Boo knows, but do you think the locker room knows?
I think
At
the
least the
team
committee,
leadership
right?
council knows, and that's what matters. Is the leadership council knows. So we'll see. Is it a quarter? Is it X amount of plays? Is it 3 quarters? Is it 1 quarter? That's what we don't know. I think it might show itself to be. I think you want to give Boo some run either way if he's able to get that run from the suspension that you've issued. And yeah, someone brought up a good point. If Jalen seizes that spot, ultimately, is Boo your best option at one of the other 2 safety positions? Something to think about.
I think I brought that up a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
But then again, if he's not been playing, Boo's got to earn his way back. We can't start going, well, Boo's suspended, so we're just going to take this other imaginary Boo and we're going to play him on offense and running back. We're going to play him at safe. No, he's not on the field because he's in the doghouse, right? So we don't get to play with him now. Now, if he works his way back and you realize, okay, well, you're locked in at star. But then again, if Boo's not been working at safety, you just throw him back there and say, hey, go get it. Go play safety in the SEC when you've worked at star your entire career.
And also, we're not in the locker room. It's like, are we overblowing this thing? Like, is it just because we were in talking season and everything kind of hit all at once and you had the social media just go wild with it and then the family member and all that kind of stuff? It's like, is it – I mean, yes, it was a situation. Yes, it was an ordeal. But is it one of those things where, okay, that was preseason and we handled it and we've got punishments in line and now we're just – slow back into playing speed or whatever it is? Are we overblowing this whole thing to where maybe the punishment's not as grandiose as we're making it?
I don't think we are overblowing it, because I think if we were, like, if it was, all right, well, it's kind of done, it would be, hey, Boo made a mistake. Boo's got to earn his way back. We're going to suspend him for the first half against Syracuse, and that we wouldn't be talking about it, right? But because nobody knows, and somebody in the chat said, I'm glad it's behind closed doors, and I agree. I'm glad it is behind closed doors, but that leads to us doing what we're doing, Fowles, speculating, because we don't know. But I think if it was clear-cut, it wouldn't be this process, right? The fact that it's this process and this journey, and he's got to continue to work his way back, and here we are in week 1, and he's still not starting, and it's not just a clear-cut thing. I don't think we're blowing it out of proportion. I don't think Boo Carter's here next year. I'm curious to see if he finishes this season. I think Boo Carter knows that if I don't finish this season, I don't keep my nose clean, it's going to impact wherever I go next year. I think it's going to impact his NFL draft stock. Just
That's
what
where
happened this past offseason is going to impact his draft stock. Because guess who the first person they're going to call is when they're debating drafting Boo Carter? They're going to pick up the phone and call Tennessee, and you're going to get the full story of what went down.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder what all those steps were, right? Obviously, some of that's going to be, working your way back up from the bottom. Some of it's going to be exercise. I know people were kind of chastising Boo for the way he was throwing the medicine ball around, but you're not really going to give him his licks when the media is standing there anyway. You're going to give him just some weird remedial task like that. And then did they assign him some philanthropy? Was that assigned philanthropy by the staff when Boo's dedicating this, when he's going and visiting hospitals and kissing babies on the campaign trail? Or did the coaching staff make him do this? These are all questions that are interesting, and maybe one day we'll have an answer for.
Somebody said, because I made a video about Boo when he the uniforms, the jerseys, and Heupel saying, yeah, he'll be out there with us. But the way Heupel said that, it was like, okay, it's in a limited role. He's going to be out there in a uniform. Is he starting? No. But the uniform thing, and somebody kind of responded to that and said, oh, well, I guess his PR guy's making him do the right thing. And it's like, that's still Boo Carter's money. I don't care if he donated those jerseys because some PR guy said, hey, this will be a good look if you do this. He still did it. I don't care if somebody said, hey, this will be a good look if you go to the children's hospital. He still did it. Like, you can't force him to spend his NIL money. So, look, to tie a big fat bow on Boo Carter, I hope he gets his nose clean. I hope he gets it turned around. Even if he transfers away from Tennessee, Boo Carter needs football. He does. That's just the reality of the situation. So hopefully he gets it turned around. Hopefully he balls out for Tennessee this year. And if not, hopefully Jalen McMurray takes care of that star position. So we're heading into game day, less than 24 hours away. Tennessee, a 13.5-point favorite. ESPN FPI has Tennessee at 88.6% chance of winning. We know Tennessee is going to be without Jermod McCoy, also going to be without David Hobbs. We talked about Jalen McMurray starting. What do you want to see on Saturday, Falming? What is going to give you confidence and what is going to bring you concern against a Syracuse team that I think Coach Jay said it, me and Kaner said it Monday morning. We said it this morning on Locked On Vols. Tennessee should be able to line up, run the football down their throat, and play defense and win this football game. So what do you want to see? And then what would concern you if something went the wrong way?
Okay, what I want to see and what concerns me is going to be two sides of the same coin here, because what we do on offense, I think, is the icing on the cake. I want to see the defense come out and dominate early. I think we need to take care of business and establish the force, establish the identity on defense. I want to lock it down early, see some pass rush early. Can we get depth at the defensive line? I know we've been good against the run. We've been able to stuff things up the middle. I think we're going to be strong there, strong at linebacker, especially on the interior. But can we get upfield? Can we get pressure on the quarterback? Can we make him uncomfortable? And I really want to see it early, because with a new quarterback coming in, can we shake that confidence early? That we've seen it happen in the past. We did it against Oklahoma, against Oklahoma, and rattle the quarterback. And then but the other side of that coin is if that doesn't happen against Syracuse, now I'm stressed and now I'm getting worried, because we're not even in the SEC play. And if we're struggling against an offense that returned 37% production, what are we looking at forward? Because this has to be our backbone. This defense has to be our backbone. We have to be able to lean on it. And then if that can happen, then the offense has that little bit of pressure taken off of them, where Joey can go out and be himself, take some shots when he wants to, and be like, okay, they've got my back if I need it. Now, offensively, I think it's just business as usual. I think we're going to be run heavy early and often. I think we're going to be physically more dominant, physically more capable to push the guys around up front. The offensive line's talked about how confident they are in the run game all off season. Every interview you see with the offensive line, it's like, well, we got the run game down. We're going to be real confident in run game. Now we're just working on this or that. So we got to see that earlier. You got to have dominant defense. We got to be able to run the ball. And then that's going to allow Joey to start seeing some one-on-ones outside. I don't know that he's seen receivers run this open before in a game. I mean, you've seen how You've seen how Heupel's offense has been in the past. So you got guys just running free. Can you just hit the ones you have to hit? Can you just hit the open ones? You don't have to make every throw. You don't have to put it on a dot, right? You just have to hit the ones that are wide open, and that's going to open up everything else. So I just sprinkle in a little bit of that on offense, but I want to see a dominant defense early.
Yeah. So number one, I want to see clean football, right? I want to see clean, penalty-free, disciplined football across the board. The second thing I want to see is dominant play in the trenches. So offensive line, defensive line, right? Defense line needs to be menaces out there. We need to be maintaining our gap responsibilities violently, and then pitting our ears back and finishing sacks in the backfield. A little bit of a problem finishing those sacks last year. The other thing from the offensive line, look, it's a new group. I'm not so much concerned about a player getting beat here and there, but I am concerned about miscommunication on the blocking scheme. We had some miscommunications between the running backs and the offensive line early last season. I'd like to see that issue fixed. I think it will go a long way towards making Joey A's job a whole lot easier. And then I want to catch the football. That's the other thing. We did not catch the football well last year. I don't want to see a lot of drops. I don't want to see any wide open drops. I know Nimrod had a good game last night, which kind of is twisting the knife a little bit more into us. But I don't want to see, slants going for drops across the field for a bunch of yards. I don't want to see Chris Brazzell dropping wide open end zone passes this year. We need to clean that up. And then, as Val said, you want to see a dominant defense. This is what the team needs to be able to hang their hat on. Specifically, when I say dominant, I think we all feel good about stopping the run, the defensive line, the cornerbacks, but the safeties and linebackers in pass defense specifically, I want to see a step taken there. It was a bit of a weak point for us last year on both of those. I want to see them take that step. You know, can we get a pick by those safeties? Can we get a pick by those linebackers? Can we get a big, just a big momentum play out of them? I'll be looking for that defense to be a menace out there.
We're gonna get ready to wrap this thing up and do Coach Jay and Foul Ming's official predictions. I made my prediction on Wednesday night, like I'm going to continue to do all year long. Just to run down the schedule real quick. Again, tomorrow, an hour before kickoff, fan call-in show. That's not going to be members only. That's just going to be a true fan call-in show where the members of the channel get to come on, but anybody can watch it. We'll do it an hour before kickoff. We'll take you all the way up to the game. Then we'll be back immediately following the game for a post-game show, so join us for that. Sunday, I'll wake up bright and early. I'll make the day after video. I'll have a night to sleep on it, recap everything, put out a short little 10-minute video talking about the game Sunday night. That's when things go south. The fans only, members only, fan call-in show Sunday night. It gets weird. It gets crazy. If you're not a member, hit the join button and come see what we do on Sunday nights. Monday morning, 9 a.m. with Eric Kane. Tuesday night, we play EA Sports College Football. Wednesday night, Talkin VAWLS Live. Every single Friday morning, me, Coach, and Foul Ming are going to get you ready for the next game. So if you're here for the first time, think about subscribing. We do this. We talk Tennessee football all day, every day, because that's what we do. All right, let's get into predictions. My prediction was 31-10. Vols, give us a little blurb. And shout out Dauber. I know he never watches anything that he's not on. So, man, when I say give me a little blurb and 25 minutes later, Dauber's giving me his prediction. When I say give me a little blurb, I mean give me a little blurb. That man talked for 35 minutes. He's like, I'm going to be short, Boogie. Thank God, because if you weren't, we would have been here for another hour. Dakota drops a 20 spot. Let's play the clip.
Rocky Top!
Look at Dakota making a man work. Dakota says, can I send this for next Tuesday's stats? Oh, my gosh. I'm going to go up here and make a note. I will do it, Dakota. I will go up here and make a note. Dakota. Okay. Foul Ming, run with it. Give us your little blurb and your score prediction.
I think it's going to be run heavy early and often on both sides. So I think it's going to eat up a lot of clock. I think it's going to be maybe a little lower scoring than we expected, or maybe the national media expects. But this defense is stingy. I want it to stay that way. So I'm going 35-13, Tennessee, obviously, and that's also 48 total. So that gives you the under for all those that want to play around a little bit. But I think we'll get run game early and often, and then Joey will just be able to hit a little spot here and there when he needs to, maybe open it up just one or two here and there. So I got 35-13.
Yeah, I also predict a dominant performance out of this defense. I think we're going to be able to beat them up quite a bit on the ground, a lot of ground and pound. I do think we're going to play a little, not that I think they're going to move the ball well, but I do think we'll bend and not break really, really well in that game. I predict a load of field goals from them this game, and for that reason, I got 38-12 is my final
38-12. All right, I'm keeping track of it. I don't know why, because I never really come back to it, but hey, I'm writing it down.
There you go.
Dauber keeps track of the Wednesday ones, and I don't think we ever even come back to it and talk about it. So anyway, we appreciate you guys tuning in. What an absolute blast to have Brent Hubs on to kick this thing off, man. Hubs brought it.
How cool was
He
that?
absolute brought it. He was a lot of fun. So shout out to Hubs for coming on. Retro's in the chat for $2. He barks like a dog. I cannot imagine being a fan that barks like a dog, but Retro's like that weird little cousin that we have that we allow to be in the family. We like you, Retro, I think. Not really, but whatever. All right, that's going to do it for this one. We appreciate you guys. We love you guys. Kickoff is tomorrow. We will see you at 11 a.m. right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. For Coach Jay, for Foul Ming, my name's Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.
That we call home.